This is the July Junk Journal Challenge 2025. Let's go creating.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. Today is day 55 of the 100-day project, and it is day 23 and the final day of the July Junk Journal Challenge 2025. The prompt for today is book page. And I've been playing a little bit to figure out what I want to make. I have some different book page, and I've made a couple of different things that I want to work with. So I have played with this. This is 3 envelopes that I have turned into somewhat of a waterfall. I put book page on them. This is the Cosmic Shimmer Gilding Flakes that I put the special glue on it, the flake and glitter glue, which stays tacky. So, and then I spread it out a little bit so that it would be really nice and smooth. And then I put the gilding flakes on it, and that's how I got this. I think it looks pretty cool. This is just a little clock from a different kit. This is going in my Peacock journal, and you'll be very acquainted with my Peacock journal. So that is what I did with it. Put a little bit of lace on there, and yeah, just made a little bit of a pocket waterfall with 3 small envelopes. It was a project by that Kate from Ink Paper Art did, and I just wanted to see how that would turn out. So this is definitely not one of my ideas. I just decorated it the way that I wanted it to. The other thing that you are seeing is die cuts. So I made a whole lot of flowered die cuts out of book page. Tons of them, lots of flowers. I also did some out of the same paper that I used on the envelopes, just to get a little design difference in there. I think that would look really cute. And what we'll do is we'll put some of these together. They are sets, so once I can pick them apart, we will work on that. I just put double pages, and that's never a smart move when you are die cutting, because then it turns a little messy. Or not messy, it just gets really tight together. What else do I have in front of me? I have some strips here because I need to make some beads, and I love making beads out of book paper. And the other thing that I have is some tags that I made. I have this set of tag dies that I don't think I had ever used them yet, so I wanted to use them, and I thought this was a great project to use them on. So they are pretty cute. This one is the smallest, this one is the biggest, and then they're all in between. The way that I made that I used the dies on book page is I glued 3 pages together so that it kind of turns into a cardboard idea. I have 1 piece left. You can see like it sounds like cardstock. It's thicker than cardstock than book paper for sure. So that is 3 book pages glued together with some glue stick, and yeah, it turns into something that you can die cut your shapes out of. So I want to make beads. I have some glitter nail polish that I want to cover the beads with. So I also have some toothpicks, all going to be for the Peacock journal, and this is embellishments that are not made out of the Peacock kit. So there, it's going to be a little bit more of a mixed journal, but still have the peacocks run through it as a main thread. I just want it to be more of a shabby chic journal. So here's all my flowers. Then the other thing that I made is I thought I could make some charms. So I have some really cute dies that cut little shapes, and I can use my snippets on there mostly, like the stamp on there. But then I thought today, oh, what happens if I have some regular dictionary paper and some music paper, and I glue them together and then cut them into the little shapes. Well, then you get charms. So I have a whole bunch here that I can use as charms. So we'll also be doing that. So this is going to be some quick projects that are just embellishments for a journal. Nothing overly difficult to make. Let me grab the last bunch of flowers. What I want to do is I want to turn these into, I need something that is a little softer. My really dirty, this is not good to use on this project, but I will do it anyway. Whoops, I'm sorry. Okay, let's see what we can do. So this is softer to use because it is made out of silicone, and I'm just going to shape the flowers a little bit. And all I do is I'm just rolling over them. And then I need one of the smaller ones. I should take the bigger stylus, that would work better. I just want to shape, get a little bit more of a flower shape in there. And then I have one of the itty bitty ones out of the other kind of paper. And this is not as thick, so it rolls a little easier. All I'm going to do is take a little glue and dab a little glue in the center. Put the one inside and another little dab of glue and this one inside. And then I'll grab my stylus and I'm just pushing it down, and then I'll let it dry, and I have a little flower. I'm just trying to shape them a little bit. This one is not working when you come from the center, so I'll have to do each petal individually. There we go. And then I am going to grab one of the book page ones, one of the smaller ones. There, little glue, and we'll just stick it right in there. And I'm going to take one of the littlest ones, if I can find it. We'll just continue on with a different kind. So I have these. Same idea. I'm just going to put this aside. It's not finished, but I don't want to dwell too long and search for too long. There. And this one is a very pretty one. Like, it has all the designs in the flower, so having the different layers will look really cool, as opposed to just using the one kind of paper. There, I have that one. I have that one. Trying to find all the different kinds to use. There. So there we go. We have one really pretty flower. Very easy project. Not the right size. Where is... Okay, so I have this size, this size. Where's that, the bigger one? This is the bigger one. There we go. Just gluing it together, and then I'll do the stylus on the 3 of them together. There we go. Another really pretty flower. There we go. All right, so we've made some flowers, and that just continues on. Now the other thing you can do is, I have some flowers made out of lace here. So I'm going to take this one, layer a little lace on there. So I'm going to take my 3-in-1. Oops. And then I'm going to take a little book page. And everything is moving now. There we go. Little book page, another flower. And then a book page flower. There. And that was an awful lot of glue. It's just pouring out of my bottle right now. And then I'll put one of these itty bitties on there. And we have another different flower, but made exactly the same way as this one. So it's kind of like cluster building, you're just using flowers instead. So what I want to do with the rest of these is I will finish them off camera. The tags, I want to ink around them, but I don't want to really use ink. I want to use some gold paint, just because it makes it look a little more special. So I just have a little gold paint right here, and I'm just going to go around the edges, and then I can still use like some black ink to go around it, but I want that little bit of gold around them, and I'm not going to do much else. I have a really, really thin piece here, so maybe I'll just go like this. Doesn't need to be totally perfect. And I'll still put the paint around it, and at least it's solid. There we go. So that's all I've done with these, is put a little gold paint around them. I may put a little embellishment on it later, but that's all I've done with it so far. While I have the gold paint out, I should probably put a little gold paint on my charm, on the little charm dies right here. And we can poke some holes in it, put in a washer, or not a washer, an eye pin on it, or a split ring on it, and then turn it into a little charm. I will also go over it with some glossy accents so that they are really nice and sturdy. I can also use resin, but I haven't gotten the hang of using resin yet, so that's why I'm just using my glossy accents until I'm out of glossy accents, and then I will be forced to use the resin. I like the gold for the embellishments because it just makes it look nice. So this isn't overly a tutorial. This is more me showing you what I like to do in my journal with book page. We've all seen me make beads before, but that is going to come up next as well. I want that one, don't want that one, that one. Let's put a hole in it. Oh, I already have one of these. That's okay. They will all look different because the book page was different in some places too. And this is music paper, not book page. And I like using the gold paint better than using gold flakes. I could have done that as well, but it's just so messy. Not that the gold paint is any better once I start working with it, but you know. Okay, so we know how to put paint onto a piece of paper. So I have some of these, and they can be put aside now to dry. There we go. Let's just let them dry, and then we can put the split rings in it, and then they can go into the journal. I hope you don't mind that my fingers are really messy. Oh, I have a bit of a leaf here. Let's do that as well. How cute is that? Oop. One of the dies has leaves, and I just didn't want to use it, but I can use it as an embellishment. There. So these can go back aside. I've made some strips of paper. they're all kind of triangles. The base is 1/2 inch. And I have some toothpicks. And I'm going to roll them all onto toothpicks. Multiple reasons. It's very easy to do that. I just figured that out. It's much easier than when you're just rolling them in your fingers. And you get a nice solid hole, and you can then prick them into a piece of styrofoam or something and create, and then you can color them. It's much easier than the way that I was doing it. So I'm just making a line of glue all the way to the end and just rolling them onto the toothpick. So basically what's happening is that the hole in the beads is going to be bigger than how I was making it before. There we go. See? They're now very pretty little beads with a bigger hole in it. And I'm just laying them down for now to dry. I don't need a lot, I just need a few, and I'll probably do most of them off camera anyway. There we go. Just make a couple. This is just to give you an idea. It's not to give you a full show of what I am doing. There. So that's 2. I'm just going to let them dry for a second. So I want to show you this as well. So what I did here is I took a piece of book page, tore around it, glued it onto a piece of cardstock. Then I used my Posca pens. I have a black one and a gold one, and I went around the shape of the book page. Then I did a little bit of gesso on it, and I'm going to have to probably use more in the future because it isn't very, it didn't make it very white. And then I had a one of these from the Peacock kit, and I fussy cut around it and then glued it down, put pearls around it, and then put glossy accents inside, so it'll look like there's something laying on top of it, which there is, but yeah, it's going to look really pretty and shiny when it is dry. Something else I like to do with book page is use it for pockets. So this one is used, or this one I made with the peacock kit, and all I've done is I folded some book pages over, and this is not very neat. Let's do it a little neater, just like that, and then take a second one and fold it a little bit further over. Like that, and then put them on top of each other. Let me ink. Oh, that's peacock feathers. So that's all I've done. So this one I used gold to edge the different pockets right there. And then here I added some, I think they're nail charms. They're super, super small little half pearls. So they look very pretty on there. All I did was put a line of glue and then stuck them in there. Yeah, very tedious work, but it looks very cute in the end. So I made that one as well. This one is a little bigger. I think it's too big for a journal, but we'll have to wait and see. And I didn't put any embellishments on it, but I made it exactly the same way as I did this one. The other thing I like to do with book page is make envelopes. I need a bit of a straighter edge on this, or I can cut. Let me just cut this side. I'll just rip that side so that it is also a little rougher. There we go, that's better. So all I do is I take the book page upside down. I go to about there and fold it up. And then I'm going to somewhat find the middle. And I can find the actual middle. Let's do that. Right there. And I'm just folding it down like that. And folding this over to create an envelope shape. Now you can also then take your hole punch, or not your hole punch, your corner punch. Maybe not, because it's not totally square. So I'm just going to use my scissors and cut this round. I like the round edges. There we go. So then I would just glue it down. Cut this piece off. Glue this down, cut this piece off as well. And then just glue on the edges. And you can use the sewing machine for all of this. I'm just not doing that on camera. I may do that after I finish filming. I may take a whole bunch of things and take it to the sewing machine and sew around it. Now I am going to take the peacock feathers, because this envelope will be used in the peacock journal, so it can have the blue around the edges instead of brown, just because I like the effect that it gives. It is allowed to be a little bit more of a brighter journal than what I usually make. There we go. And we have a very pretty envelope. And you can put a little closure on there. So what you can do, for example, is take one of these little pieces, put it right here, put a little glue on the end, right there. And I'm just gluing it down. And you can, oh, you do have to wait for it to dry. Okay, so then you can just fold this right behind it and it'll keep the envelope closed. Could have inked around this. There we go. It's very cute. All right, so I have the beads all coated with nail polish and they just need to dry for a while. So that is done. Then I put one of the flowers onto one of the tags and I put a string in there. I added some of the charms to the tag, to some of the tags. I left some alone, but I think they look very cute on there. And the charms, like, you can also put glossy accents on them and make them even more sparkly and shiny, but I think they're very pretty just like that. The envelope was done already, so now this is dry and you can just put this right behind it to hold it closed. These are the flowers that I have done. And there's still a bunch more that need to be made. Then I made the pocket and I made the other journal space. So that is all the different things that I like to do with my book page. So this is the last video for the July Junk Journal Challenge. And I think I got a lot out of it. I'm going to continue with the 100-day project, of course, so stay tuned. Tomorrow will be another video. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you know when I am going to show you something else that I am making. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a lovely Thursday. Bye.